Today's question comes from Lindsay on Instagram, and she asked, what is 2FA? Well, 2FA stands for two-factor authentication. It's also referred to sometimes as MFA, which is multi-factor authentication. And what that really means is it's something you know and something you have. So that's the two different factors or the multi-factors. So the something you know is generally your password. This is going to allow you access to any of your online accounts. This something you have is generally your phone or something like that. So when you enter your password, you are sent something to your phone, or your phone generates something in order to gain access to that account. So you can't just get into your account with only your password. You have to have both factors in place in order to gain access to your account. Now, this is going to make your account much more strong and help prevent you from getting hacked by anyone that is trying to attack your online account. Because often if we get a phishing email or something like that, and we click on the link, we send them our password, the attackers try and use that username and password combination to gain access to our account, then you'll be prompted for that two-factor authentication. They won't have the code in order to gain access, and that is going to protect you. Now, you can get compromised through no fault of your own. So let's say, I always use this example, MyFitnessPal, the company itself gets hacked. They download all of the usernames and password combinations in the database of MyFitnessPal. And so once they have that username and password combination, if you're using that same combination on any other online accounts, they can put that combination into a program that will try that combination on tons of different online accounts at the same time. Now, if you have two-factor authentication turned on, when they attempt to access your account with that legitimate username and password combination, they will be prompted for the code, you will be prompted for the code, and you will know that somebody is trying to access your account. So the reason you should use two-factor authentication on any online account is because of these situations where your account can be compromised through no fault of your own, or you can be the victim of a phishing attack and hand over your credentials. So there are a few different ways that two-factor authentication can be set up. So when you're in the online account, they usually will have different ways that you can set that up, and it will be dependent on what is available for that online account. So a lot of times you can get an email with this authentication code. So you enter your password, it's going to send you an email. The email will have this code, and then you put the code into the account and you gain access. The other way is through a text message. So again, you put in your password, it sends you a text message. It has the code in that text message, and then you enter that code into the online account and you gain access. The third way is through an authentication app. So Google Authenticator is one. There's one called Duo. There's a lot of different authentication apps. I would definitely recommend sticking with well-recognized authenticator code apps like Google. And what happens is if you have this Google Authenticator app, you set it up through the online account and it will generate a QR code. Then you take your Authenticator app and you scan the QR code from the application, and then it will generate a code. You enter the code, and now you are connected with that Authenticator app. So the next time you're trying to access your account, you'll enter your password, and then you open your Authenticator app, see what code, which is automatically regenerated every 60 or 90 seconds, and then you take the code for that account, you enter it, and then you gain access to your account. So the one caveat here is If you change your phone, make sure you back up your Google Authenticator app or whatever other authenticator app you are using so you can transfer those codes to your new phone. That is one of the most common things people miss when they're switching from one phone to the other. And it is a huge pain if you reset the old phone before you get that information transferred over. Now, even though two-factor authentication will help protect your accounts, it is not foolproof. Do not give these codes to anybody that asks for them. Also, if you do fall for a phishing attack and you have entered your username and password into an account, sometimes it will also prompt you for that authenticator app code. And if you enter that information into an attacker's website, they have that authentication code and they will use it to gain access to your account immediately. So definitely be careful where you are entering this authentication code. Make sure it's not from a link that you have clicked, that it is something that you have manually gone to the website itself in order to verify that it is the correct website. That's everything you need to know about 2FA. So go ahead and get that set up for all of the online accounts you have and be a little more protected today.